Well, good morning and hello and welcome to The Real Franchise, another episode. And this is a video series designed to deliver real information, real answers, and real insights into franchising. This series is brought to you by James Home Services Australia. I'm Justin Kelly, one of the owners of the company, and I also take care of sales nationally for the business. And I walk people like yourself, hopefully, who are interested in possibly having their own business. I walk you through an information process. But today, and together, we're going to tackle all the big topics, unscripted, unplanned, and unfiltered. So there's no sales, no fluff. We're just going to give you information straight up. In today's topic, we're going to look at the real value of having a James franchise, the value that we provide in the first 12 months to you. Today, I'm joined by our CEO, Rhiannon Simcocks. Welcome, Rhiannon. And I want to share just quickly with everyone a little infographic that we are going to talk through today. Because, Rhiannon, a number of months ago, you did a bit of work, didn't you, on just putting down, I guess, some of the real value that you see that we delivered. And I was actually looking through this infographic this morning, and I was surprised because I think you've undervalued some of the areas. So this number that people can see on the screen of what we deliver to people in their first year, I think is a bit on the low side. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. How did you come up with this number?
It's a conservative number in my opinion. However, I am inherently a conservative kind of an individual when it comes to forecasting. Do you know what? The idea was inspired actually by one of the business coaches in our network around, I want to say about 8 months ago, end of last year, end of 2023. Ian just had this one of those little minty moments in life that sometimes you have, they happen at 2 a.m. or in the shower or for you when you're running in the morning, and you just have this idea, this spark. And he rang me and he said, Rhiannon, what actual value are we offering our new business owners in our network? Do we know? And I said, oh, well, Ian, of course, we offer, all the training and the support, and I started just reeling off the boring things, that everybody says. And he said, no, what's the dollar figure? Do we actually articulately communicate with our new business owners and our potential business owners actually what value we're giving to them? And I thought, Ian, you have made a fantastic point, and I've got no idea why I haven't thought about it before. So here we are. I did some sums, and it was a really interesting exercise. I actually sat down and thought about if you're brand new to business ownership, if you're going about setting up your own business, you're not in a franchise network, you're going it alone, you're an independent, there are so many things that you've got to do in order to get your business up off the ground in that first 12 months. And I thought, let's put some numbers to it. So in this chat today, we just wanted to go through some of those. Now, I'm going to give everybody who's watching this as an actual visual video, an apology in advance because I've got the numbers, but they're on my phone. So I am going to be referring because I don't want to miss anything. And I want to also give some insights as to how we calculated the numbers because and let's be real, anybody can throw numbers at something, right? So I want to actually give anyone who's listening a level of comfort that we actually genuinely thought about this and we tried to be really realistic about it. So the very first thing that you've got to do if you want to start a business is you should be putting together a business plan. Otherwise, what are you doing? Where are you going? How are you getting there? You don't know. And so if you don't know, it's a very real possibility that you're not actually going to get where you want to get to. Yep. So a business plan, I actually, in my previous role as a business consultant before joining the James brand, I made a living out of helping businesses, small, all the way through to large multinational corporations internationally, write business plans. And the minimum charge for a basic business plan for a small services type business was $5,000. So straight out the gate, in order for you to sit down with a professional and actually write a considered business plan, you're looking at $5,000. The whole point of the numbers that we're doing is that this is stuff that you get when you join our network. So going it alone, you got to pay this money out your own pocket. You got to find it from somewhere. When you join James, this is just straight up what we deliver to you. So a business plan in James is our whole system. We have an entire system, and it's not been developed over a couple of months with just one business consultant. It's been developed over 30 years based on data and based on what works. So you're getting a business plan worth a lot more than $5,000. But if you were going to go out and write a business plan, you're looking at about $5,000. The next thing you need to do is you need to think about branding, and that involves engaging a graphic designer. Now, probably for a small business owner, who's a little bit mindful of the money that they're investing in that first 12 months, they're going to really just engage a graphic designer to design them a logo, a business card, and perhaps a bit of a flyer. You're looking at minimum $1,000 for that. And that might sound wild. You might be thinking, hey, but I can go onto Fiverr and get that for $100. Yeah, maybe you can, but you're not going to get the files. You're not going to get the rights to be able to reproduce it. You're not going to have access to that person in an ongoing fashion whenever you need something else. So you're going to have to engage a professional graphic designer who can work in partnership with your business as it grows. In James, we have someone like that in-house. We have a total pro in-house, can do anything you need. In fact, just yesterday, one of our franchisees sent their business coach an email saying, hey, as the weather's warming up, what if we had a windscreen shield, one of those ones that you stick inside the windscreen of your car?
Yeah.
Could we get one made up that has the James branding on it?
Oh,
and I'm
awesome.
like, yeah, of course we can. We have a graphic designer in-house. We're teamed up with a professional and nationally based print company that delivers really excellent pricing and great turnaround on a dime. We can do anything you want. So, yeah, that's the value of joining
we have them.
Let you know. Yeah, absolutely. Sam's working on it as we speak. So, yeah, you need to engage a graphic designer. That'll cost you at least $1,000 just for the basics. In James, you get a graphic designer basically on call. You have an idea, we can make it happen. It's pretty easy. The next one that's on the list is you need a website. And I have personal experience in what it costs to design a basic website built to convert potential inquiry into customers. So this involves having information about you up there as the business owner, because people buy from people, information about your services, photos. You need to incorporate videos. Data shows videos on websites are critical. You need a form on your website where people can make inquiries. You need a contact us page. You probably need a blog for SEO. We're talking a $6,000 website. That's what it costs to get the sort of website that you actually need to be meaningful. Now, can you go set up a website on Wix free of charge? Yeah, you can. Is it going to get you the same results as you get with a website professionally designed? No, it does not. It absolutely doesn't. Our website at James has cost a lot more than $6,000. We've invested maybe 60 to 70 grand in that website. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Over the last 4 years, do you know what? We're probably pushing 100K investment in our website over the last 4 years, if I'm honest. And so you get to piggyback on the back of that as a business owner in our network, because that website, it features you. It's got blog posts about you. It's got a page about your business that links to your Google business profile that is optimized for conversion, and it automatically links with our software. It's an expensive website. It does all of the things. For you to get the equivalent, but just on an independent business scale, you're looking at $6,000.
Yeah.
Huge investment. The next one I'm going to throw to you for, Justin. We spend $800 on print material. What do we spend that money on, and why is it important?
Well, it's the day one marketing. Get you started. It's your business cards. It's your brochures. And, people can go, oh, I can go down the street and they've got some special for, 100 cards for $50 or whatever. And, yeah, what quality are they? And I see it all the time in our industry. Like, our brochures are quality brochures. They're glossy, two-sided, really sharp professional business cards on good, thick card. So, yeah, you're looking at that sort of money. That's what we pay, and we have a national deal. And actually, our supplier is brilliant. Like, they ship them out within sort of 3 days now. So it's really, really good.
such a quick turnaround. And because, we work with a supplier at a national level, so we have an account manager on their side and our graphic designer works directly with them. And the whole process is seamless. We can get a design from concept to actually in our business owner's hands in about 4 business days, which is incredible. As a small independent business owner, you just can't access that level of service at the right price. If you're going to pay for an expedited service, it's at a premium. You've walked into your local print company, which have higher prices. They probably do offer a really great quality product, but you pay for the convenience of having it delivered so fast. Whereas with us, and also, they're going to be doing your branding for you. It might not be on brand. They might come up with something that you're not comfortable with. There's going to be back and forth with the design work. We take care of all of that. Our graphic designer is all over all of that. We've got fast turnaround, great prices, great designs. So often, feedback that we get in the marketplace is, you guys look so professional. I mean, you get it often, just potential business owners that are walking through the process with you will sometimes come into your meetings and say, oh my goodness, we saw some Facebook advertising the other day for a franchisee who's in your brand but near to us. It looks so professional. We can't wait to look like that. We get that all the time.
Yes.
And we can afford to pay for that. But it comes at a cost. And as an independent, you're responsible for that cost. The next thing on my list is an advertising agency, because as a new business owner, you want revenue. In order to get revenue, you need customers. And in order to get customer, you need leads. Now, you can do a whole heap of stuff to go and get leads organically on the ground free of charge. And if you're in our network, you know what we're talking about. We teach you how to market on a shoestring. We teach you how to market for free. We teach you how to generate leads for free. However, we also back that up with paid advertising. And if you're a small business owner, the minimum that you should be spending on paid advertising is an agency who's qualified enough to deliver at a high level is going to cost you minimum admin fee $1,000 a month. Then you want to be spending what you're spending on admin with your ads, another $1,000. So you're looking at $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year. And you're just taking care of paid advertising to get your brand out there and to generate leads for your business. So there's $24,000 up front. Jump in, go.
Yeah, I can just say personally, like before James, I personally have wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars in different businesses trying to find. The thing I find with marketing companies, they're in advertising, right? They're all great at selling themselves.
Yeah.
And you sign up, and they promise the world, and you spend a lot of money and you don't get conversion. And, we have companies that we work closely with that we know we get conversion. And I love telling people every day that we do the paid advertising. We train you, the business owner, to do the stuff that costs nothing.
Yeah, that's it. We do the hard stuff. We do the stuff that requires money or figuring it out, We do the tricky stuff and the behind the scenes stuff. So if you're an independent going out on your own, your minimum to achieve effective paid marketing, minimum you need to be spending $24,000. Can you find it for cheaper? Yes. Are you going to get leads? No. Or if you do, they're going to be rubbish in quality and you're going to spend your whole life fighting with your marketing company about the fact that they're not actually delivering up good quality leads to you. In our network, we take care of that for you we invest an enormous amount of money in advertising in this company. It's an enormous percentage that we spend on advertising, but we found economies of scale and we found an agency that we can really, really optimize our campaigns for conversion with and work alongside in partnership with. And that's the value of being part of a franchise network. You get access to someone operating at such a high skill level, and your own dollar might not be able to afford that kind of caliber of individual.
Yes.
The next thing that we spend money on is vehicle signage, and it's around $1,700 on average that we spend on vehicle signage. Justin, why is this so important?
Well, I think an example for people out there is to have a look when you're driving around, the number of commercial lawn guys I drive past, and there's no branding. Yeah. There's no phone number even on the vehicle. We professionally brand your vehicle. We're very flexible on the vehicles, but it's got your phone number. It's got the 1-800 number. It's got a website. It's recognizable. It clearly displays your service. It is the most cost-effective form of advertising in a small business. is having a signed vehicle.
Yep.
And it's amazing how many people in other businesses don't want to do that. Or even people looking at joining often are like, oh, I don't want to sign my car. I'll have to go buy another car. It's like my car and my personal car are both signed because it's my business. I want to advertise as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So, yeah, and 1,700 I think is conservative. We've got one today being signed in Wagga. It's well over $2,000 for that signage.
Because it's really important to mention that when we say signed vehicle, we don't mean a little magnet on the side of your door. We're not talking about something this big on your bonnet. We're talking about your vehicle is wrapped, the full vehicle. And the purpose of that is that when you're pulled up at traffic lights or when you're in traffic and someone drives past your vehicle, James and your business is plastered over it. And at a glance, in a second, they can see what your business is, the service that you deliver, and the way to reach you and contact you. If you've just got a tiny little sticker on the side of your door, you don't get that impact. People aren't actually seeing your brand. The number of times we've had business owners who have been, healthily skeptical about the whole signed vehicle thing. The number of times they've come back to us in the first couple of weeks going, I've received 3 calls already from people who have seen my car parked at the shopping centre. It happens all the time. Your vehicle is a moving billboard, and it will be one of your biggest marketing assets to your business. We do that. We pay for the signage of our new business owners' vehicles, just as a matter of course, because we know how important it is. If you got to go out and do that for yourself, anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 for a vehicle to be signed the way that we sign it.
Quick story. Jamie, one of our franchisees at Tweed, I remember, I love this story. Very first day of his business, woke up in the morning all excited. First day, he's finished training, ready to go. They had no milk in the fridge. He's ducked down to the little corner store to grab some milk so they could have brekkie. And this woman's run over to him. Hey, you're a cleaner. And because he's standing in front of his car, he's just got out of the door. And she's gone, our cleaners have cancelled. We have to get a bond clean. It's got to be done by tomorrow. Can you do it? And so his very first day, there's an $880 job because he had a signed vehicle. Very first morning on the job. Hadn't even got to 9 o'clock in the morning yet.
Wow. And had he stepped out of a vehicle without any signage on it, he wouldn't have got that job. Gosh, it just goes to show, doesn't it? It's so important. If you're listening to this video and you're on the fence about, do I go it alone? Do I join a franchise network? Even if your ultimate choice is that you've got this, you can do it on your own, please get your vehicle signed. This is us giving you a little bit of advice. Go get that vehicle signed. It is so well worth the investment. The next thing on my list is business coach. Now, we've got a value against this of almost $20,000. And that's because in the first 12 weeks, our business coaches are basically on call to you as a business owner, and at minimum would spend 3 hours a week with new business owners. After the 12 weeks for that next 3 months, it's probably on average 2 hours a week. And then after that, it's about an average of 1 hour a week. If you were to have to pay for that time at standard business coaching rates, and the rate that I used to calculate this is significantly lower than the rate that I was charged out as when I was a business coach. So yes, I've been conservative just to try and root this in reality. If you were to try and pay for that, it'd be $20,000 alone.
Yes, and I can vouch for that. One of my good friends has an electrical business. He's got 4 tradies working for him.
Yeah.
He's been struggling for years. Yeah. Took advice. He got a business coach. They charge him a flat fee of $19,500 a year for his business coaching, and that's just the basic. The moment they interact with his team or do anything else, it's extra on top of that. $19,500, we provide that.
Yep, that's the figure I've got here, $19,500, and I base that on calculations as to the actual time our coaches spend with our business owners in that first 12 months, and then calculate it out at the hourly rate that is lower than where I was sitting at when I was business coach before coming to James, much lower actually. Yeah. So yeah, I think that 20K-ish figure is really reasonable. In the previous episode, I was talking about a friend of mine that I caught up with last week, saying that she had gone and she's in the wedding industry. She's a florist and a microflower farmer. And, she's got a business coach because she recognizes the importance of having that guidance, but it's a cost to her business. In a franchise network, we provide that straight up. And let me tell you, most of our franchisees, on average, they don't pay 19 grand in franchise fees in a year. And yet in one item on our list, we're giving them more value than what they're paying for. And the reason we can do that is because of efficiencies of scale, right? But it just goes to show that joining a franchise network can really boost your ability to access skills development, training, coaching, that support in that first 12 months.
Yeah.
The next thing on my list is accounting software. Minimum to buy accounting software, like on a monthly basis, anywhere from $50 to $70 a month for something like your Xero or your MyOb, at a level that you're going to require in order to adequately run your business. You can get $20 a month packages, but they have a ceiling as to their capabilities, and you will run out of that ceiling the second you want to employ staff. You can't pay them on a $20 a month package. You're going to need to increase to that $50 to $70 a month. However, the overall cost I've got associated to this is $3,000, because actually what I'm allocating in here is you getting trained in how to use it. And we provide that training if you join our network, totally free of charge to you. We don't pay for your software. You've got to pay for it yourself. But the $3,000 I've put in here is for the training that we give you. So you got to go out and make sure that you know how to use that software, and we give you that training. The next couple of things that I've got in here is business training and practical training. Now I've got $2,500 associated to our business training. Wildly conservative. It's 3 intense days one-on-one with a professional business coach to teach you how to run your business. And then I've put in here $2,000 for practical training, which is 4 days working alongside someone in the industry. If you would actually pay for that out of your own pocket, I feel like it's going to be a lot higher than that. Just quickly, do you want to chat through what is covered in that business and practical training and why it's so important that you get training? Because a lot of people probably think, oh, it's just a cleaning business. It's just a lawn mowing business. I can do that, right? But it's important to get professional training, right?
Absolutely. Customers want a quality service. And the way you might mow your lawn might not be, quality. The other thing is, what we really sell in a service business is time. You're not the product, the quality service, yes, has got to be there, but you're actually selling time. So how do you do that job efficiently to be able to make money? And so that training, working with experts in that field who are all, gone through a James training system and deliver quality training to you, will teach you those skills. Will teach you, I think one of the really important things our practical trainers teach is how to quote. Most people that go it on their own, one of the key things they're nervous about is how to price jobs, how to do the quotes, how to win. And I see all the time people that go and spend all this money on great websites and stuff and start their own business. And then, for example, they're putting their prices out there as an hourly rate. And they're never going to make it, because in this industry, to quote the hourly rate you need to survive, to make a basic profit, people are going to go, oh, that's too dear.
Yeah.
So
and you're putting a ceiling to what you can earn. The second you're quoting an hourly rate, say you're quoting $50 an hour hourly rate, all of a sudden in an 8-hour working day, you can only earn $400. However, didn't you just tell us a story about Jamie who went and got a bond cleaning job and it was an $880 job? Now, let's assume that took him 8 hours. Let's assume it took him a full day. Hang on a minute. I'm not amazing at maths, but I'm pretty good and I can do those sums in my head. He didn't just make $50 an hour. But imagine if he'd have gone to that client and said, yeah, my rate's going to be $100 an hour. They probably would have balked and said, what?
Exactly.
No way. I pay a plumber or an electrician $100 an hour. Why would I pay a cleaner $100 an hour? But because he quoted via our system and he quoted for the actual job to be done and he quoted it in a detailed fashion, he was able to achieve $100 an hour in his first job. You get access to all of that intelligence and that training when you do our training. And if you're going it on your own, you need to pay for high quality training to set yourself up for success. And that comes at a cost. And conservatively, I would be budgeting $5,000 to $6,000 for that kind of training quality to be delivered.
And if you think you're really bright and you'll work it out, well, please take into account the cost, the money you're going to miss out on whilst you learn those lessons.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and if you add that up, that'll be a heck of a lot more than 20 or 30 grand over, you know, the space of a year or two, because
that's right.
anyone in business learns.
Yeah. We're accelerating the startup. You know, so many businesses take several years to turn a profit. And, you know, it's not uncommon in our network that individuals turn a profit in their first 12 months. Not always. And it depends also on the rate at which the franchisee wishes to grow their business, and that's in their control. But we have plenty of examples of business owners in our network that have turned a healthy profit in the first 12 months. And so much of that is because we've accelerated their startup process. You know, we've had all our ducks in a row. We've helped them to have their ducks in a row. We've given them great training. We've given them access to good resources, access to a really highly skilled business coach. And it just means that learning phase, it's shortened, or at least it means that they can spend a lesser amount of time at the beginning making mistakes, because we're teaching them. We've made all those mistakes before, right? The analogy we always use is it's like going down a road with potholes in it. If you're going out on business on your own, you are going to hit every single one of those potholes in your first 12 months yourself. You're just going to be bouncing from one pothole to another. And you're going to learn, and by the end of 12 months, you're going to look back and you go, gee, that was rough, but I've come out. Next year's going to be smoother because of what I learned. However, in a franchise network, certainly in ours, we've traveled that road thousands of times before, literally thousands of times before with new business owners. We know where the potholes are. We've filled them in. We tell you where to avoid them. We know the ropes. And so we give you all that intelligence. You just, you unlock a box with all of that intelligence already in it. You don't have to ride the rough road. The road's still going to be a hard work. You have to put in the work, but we give you all of the heads ups you're going to need about the potholes. The next thing on my list is SEO. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what SEO is, this is your sign that you're going to need some advice and guidance on this. SEO is short for search engine optimization. Basically, you can have a website and you can have the best web designer and you can have spent 20 grand on your website. However, unless you're constantly maintaining its SEO, and all that is, it's a fancy way of saying you need to be making sure that your website is constantly being changed and updated with information that is relevant to your audience who is searching for you. If your SEO isn't being constantly managed, then you're not going to show up in search results when someone searches for your services. We spend an enormous amount every single month making sure that our website is constantly being updated with SEO at front of mind. Now, for any basic individual business owner to go out and have someone, a professional, manage their SEO, you're looking at baseline $500 a month for that constant update and maintenance. And frankly, $500 a month, basically what it gets you is someone telling you what to do on your website, but you're still responsible for then doing it. So then you either have to have the skills to do it yourself, or you've got to go back to your web designer and say, hey, I need you to make these changes. So again, the $500 a month is very conservative as to what it would actually cost to maintain your website as an independent, in the same way that we're able to maintain our website as a national brand. Next thing is website maintenance. Now, you might think that SEO is website maintenance, but website maintenance is a whole nother realm all over again. Websites are beasts. If you have a website, you have a risk that at any time it could go down. It could fail. Your host could fail. Your server could fail. Your data could fail. Your backup could fail. Your form could fail. Your SEO could fail. Anything can fail. You can get a bug. You can get an error. You can get your website crashing. Now, unless you have the skills to manage those kind of crisis situations, you need to pay someone to maintain your website so that doesn't happen. Again, baseline, that's going to cost you $500 a month just to have someone on call who does the updates, who does proactive management, and who is on call to you to manage any crisis situations. It costs us a lot more because our website is an awful lot bigger, and we also do a lot more proactive maintenance because we we have between 10 and 20,000 people visiting our website every single month. And that number is increasing quite rapidly at the moment because we're doing all of our maintenance and updates, and this series is generating more traffic. All the things we're doing is sending more and more people to our website. So this stuff becomes really important. So again, $500 a month, we're talking $6K a year. The numbers are starting to stack up pretty rapidly now. The next thing you need to be doing is content development. Content development is for website. You know, what blogs are you writing? What pages are you updating? What copy are you putting? What are you swapping out? Facebook content. What are you actually developing? Are you taking videos? Are you doing photos? What's your post copy? What's your content plan? Your GBP, again, posts, videos, photos. Asking
What's GBP? Sorry, for
Google Business Profile. Sorry. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Good pickup. Google Business Profile. So all of those different platforms that you need to be maintaining as business owner, you need to be developing content for. Now, if you don't have the skills yourself, or you're a business owner, so you might not have the time, you need to be paying someone to do that for you. A basic package on a monthly basis with a content developer will cost you $2,000. So there's 24 grand a year on developing content. We have people in-house that do this for us, that it's their job. They develop content constantly. This series, we're developing content. And we have people, we have our graphic designer and our whiz of all things comms and content. She turns this, we're just having a chat on Zoom, right? She turns this into a video. It goes up on Facebook. It goes into our YouTube. It gets put across different channels and different networks. She cuts out little snippets for people to listen to in smaller chunks. She does all sorts of things. And she works for us like 25 hours a week just doing content alone. So unless you've got the skills, you need to be prepared to pay someone to develop content. And if you're not developing content, you're not giving your potential audience the information that they need about your services. So you're not going to get inquiries and leads. Business management software. Justin, for us, this is Butler. And we both know that this has been a more than $500,000 exercise to implement our Butler system across our network in the last couple of years. And that investment is ongoing. You don't just implement software and then poof, you're done, hands off. No, it's ongoing maintenance. License costs are ongoing. Maintenance and continuous development are ongoing. What does Butler do for us? But let's break it down for anybody listening who might be thinking, I'm going to go it alone. What does Butler do that they need to be making sure that they find software that does for them?
Yeah. So for us at James, Butler runs our whole business. But for you as a business owner, what it does is your leads, people who are inquiring for your service, are already in there. You turn up to do a job. We have a quoting system in there with templates, so you can just literally select what sort of job the client needs done. You can email the client the quote there and then, straight from that package. The client can then accept the quote. You can turn the quote into an invoice, email them the invoice. You can schedule the job. I love, like most of our jobs that we do at James are for regular customers. Most of our customers become regular. I think over 85% of the jobs we do are regular. And what I love about Butler is it will actually book, I think, was it 6 months in advance?
Yeah, 6 months in advance.
Yep. So, if it's a fortnightly clean or a fortnightly lawn mow, it'll be in there in your calendar for the next 6 months on a rolling basis. It'll always be in there for 6 months ahead. So you can glance ahead and work out where you can fit in jobs, where you've got gaps, all of that sort of thing. You can run multiple teams. So as your business grows, if you've got different vehicles running around doing jobs, you can sort out calendars for your different teams. All that sort of stuff is done in Butler. And the beauty of it, I think one of the greatest aspects is those invoices that you've sent your clients, you can then just upload straight into your accounting software and bang, it's all there. So there's no double handle.
Yep.
And then it also tracks all the performance side of your business. So on your dashboard, when you log in, you get lots of pretty graphs that you can scroll down and check out, what your average hourly rate is and how you're going this week versus last week, all those sorts of things. So, yeah, there's lots that it does.
Yeah. It's such a critical part of our platform. It and we've spent over $500,000 developing it. And it's an investment in our network. It allows our business owners to run their businesses seamlessly. Now, I've got a figure of $600 a year that you would need to spend as a business owner to get a platform. Now, that's baseline. You are not going to get something like what we've just described. What we've described is what we have custom built out. There's no other platform in the world that looks like the one we've built because we purpose built it. However, you could probably get away with spending somewhere between $600 and $1,000. I'm going to start to whiz through the next few because I'm really conscious that we have talked in so much detail about the ones preceding. And I'm hoping that anybody listening has really got the feeling that we're being legit in this. We're not just putting numbers on it. So given that we've hopefully instilled that level of confidence, I'm just going to, for the sake of time, reel off the next few. We operate a call center nationally that fields calls and sends leads directly to customers. If you are, as an independent business owner, to go and outsource your call routing, it would cost you minimum $600 a month to do that. Now, the value of doing that is that you're out there as a business owner and you're on the tools. You don't have time to take the calls, but it's really important that you answer calls quickly. So a call center that's outsourced is a critical component of making sure that your customer service is really exemplary. The next thing is uniforms. That one's a no-brainer, right? I've got $500 in here, but we pay for people's uniforms because it's so important. It's part of the branding. It's like getting the vehicle signed. It's a no-brainer for us. We pay for it. And if you're a business owner out there and you're thinking that you're not going to implement a uniform, I really highly would challenge you on that thought because having a uniform makes you identifiable and it really helps convey that meaning of professionalism when you show up. Equipment, $3,000, no brainer. You start a lawn mowing business, it's going to cost you an awful lot more than that. A 0-turn lawn mower on its own is worth 10 to 15 grand. Your trailer on its own is worth 15 to 20 grand. If you're starting a cleaning business, you're looking at anywhere between 3 and 5 grand conservatively for high quality equipment. We buy high quality equipment because we want it to last. Chemicals, $500, no brainer. You start a business, cleaning, lawn mowing, it's going to be fuels, additives, oils, things like that, or it's going to be weed killer, or it's going to be fertilizer. I mean, $500 just is, it's going to cover your first couple of months. That's about all. Lead acquisition, that is things like paying for a service such as Bizza or High Pages or OneFlare. Those are just online marketplaces where you can register as a business, register your services, and whenever there's a lead, somebody posts that they're looking for somebody in your area, then that lead comes back to you. And then workplace health and safety system, $5,000. It's going to cost you, it cost us around 20 to set up our workplace health and safety system. And then there's ongoing management of that. On a much smaller scale, $5,000 is the minimum you're going to get out of that for. And then I've got one which is a time saving. Now, you alluded to this earlier, which is in the first year, you're going to spend so much time figuring stuff out. That's time you're not out there on the job, doing the work, being paid for it. And we've got a figure in there of $12,000. And I've worked that out based on numbers, 3 hours of figuring shit out in the first 6 months, 2 hours every week after that. But we accelerate your startup, your knowledge, and basically we give you the opportunity that instead of wasting that time figuring stuff out, we're just going to give you the answers. We're going to give you the solutions. We're going to give you a plan of attack, and you can just go out, get customers, and do the job. So grand total, $123,000 is what you get in value in the first 12 months of being with James. I don't think there's any more that need to be said.
That's it. And you can start with a subscription of only $1,000 up front.
I know. I mean, that's a whole other topic. We've already done a video on that. We don't need to go there. Anyone listening who's gotten to that point, they know that. You guys are researching us. Hopefully this video has been helpful. Hopefully it's given you an insight into the actual value you get when you start a business with us. And so we're going to leave this episode right here. We're going to wrap it, and we hope that you might join us for the next episode of The Real Franchise.
Thank you.